we're making a smaller version of this pattern that comes out of here. This is called Seriously I Think It Needs Stitches by Kelly Fannin Quilt Designs. It's called Wildflower Seeds. On this pattern, they're making 4 of each block. What we're going to be getting in our boxes from RebsFabStash is 2 of each block, so it's going to make a 9 patch square with these large 12-inch blocks. I'm going to show you how I made these. Hi guys, I'm Lynn with Softsquares. Today I'm going to start a new block of the month series. I have a subscription with RebsFabStash, and they are starting a block of the month that comes out in their box, and they're all going to be cohesive and work with each other. So right now we are making 2 of these flowers. Sorry about the glare, let's fix that. 2 flowers, and they send out the fabric and everything that you need for that. I'm going to make that right now, so if you're doing this, you can follow along. And if it's something that you join in on later, just contact them and they'll give you these, the older blocks, whenever it is that you join. But this is the first one. They said that we should have a lap size quilt by fall. And I can't tell, but I believe this is the layout it's going to be. So probably 2 a month for 4 months, and then a 5th month, and which will be for 1 more block, and the finishing. So we'll see how that goes. That's what I think. So, and they did say fall, so that really is 5 months worth of stuff. So I think we're good. I guess we'll find out as I go. So first thing I'm going to do is show you this really cute pattern. They have actually got the large size pattern here, and they do send the fabric, but they also let us know what line the fabric is. And if we would like to purchase more, we can purchase more fabric from them and make it bigger. But this is the pattern that I'm using. It's called Wildflower Seeds, and they send it out at the beginning of this instead of each month as you go, and I like that. And we have our detailed instructions. So let's start cutting my pieces up. That's a 1-inch strip I can save. Anything smaller than 1 I don't worry about, although I am putting together some quilt blocks, and I just got through cutting out things that were under 1 inch. But that's really rare. But I won't keep this, but I will keep this. Okay, so there's my 2 centered pieces. I'm going to be doubling this, so everything I do will be 2 of. That's why I've got this fabric double. This is leftover. Yay, I have leftover pieces. Hopefully you don't need it, but if you do, it's there. Oh, and we have this too. Okay, here's a little tip if you're doing this with me. Here's the first page of the instructions. It tells you what you're cutting out, but it does not tell you your background fabric. You can see by the diagram here, everything's called an A, but it has a size on it. Actually, all these have a size and a number, which is nice. But right here it says fabric A you need for this block, and then it breaks down the 4 different sizes I'll be cutting out, but that's where you find that. And I don't know if it's that way with all of them. Yep, it is. A little bit different way of doing it. says to complete the corner flips first, and what it's talking about are the petals, these. And it starts with a 4-inch square. And there's 4 per flower. So I've got my 2 colors of flowers, and everything is doubled here. First thing it says to do is take your 2-inch squares, which are these, and you put them on the corner of each block. So before I do that though, I'm going to fold these in half so I have a line to follow, and print is on this side, so I want to fold it with the print on the outside. That way when I put this on my block like this, face down, I can sew right on that line. If I were to fold it the other way, it's really hard to sew on a peak, so we give it a valley. So I'm going to go ahead and press all these and pin them on all 4 of my blocks, on both blocks. Okay. Usually I will pin them, but these are small enough I can hold them in place. But I know this is where they're going to go. I just want to make sure I had the right number of everything. And I do. Before I go to the machine, there's another thing I need to do. We have a yellow block with 4 corners snowballed. Okay, so these are going to go on each corner like so. And now I can sew my flower together. No, I can't. I'm going to sew my petals and then move on to the next step. Okay, I have sewn all my corners on. I cut them back and pressed them as you just saw. And now it's time to add the background pieces. And let's find out what we need to do next. Now, we know we don't have anything to do with this till later. So it's telling us to work with these pieces first. These are the outer corners. And okay, so interesting. I'm just following what they said to do. Okay. And when I'm over here, I like to sew with my seams up so I can see them. Gives me better control over where they go so that they don't flip. If it's possible, not always, but that's my preference. Okay, so I'm going to show you something. So by doing it this way, I can square it up. You can tell really easily this is not square. But when I line this up underneath it, see how that sticks up right there? I can follow the edge of the other one. And see, it's actually short on this one. It's okay. It's not going to matter because I'm going to follow the edge of the long piece I just put on there. This is the one I was just showing you on the other machine where that, the other camera where this part's sticking up and it's short over here. I just followed the edge of the new piece and everything underneath it, or I say underneath, and the big block will follow. And so now that it's pressed, we're square. It's time to build it. So I'm going to use this so I can carry it over. These are my corner pieces. These are the pieces in between. And here's my centerpiece. Look at that, it's a flower. Now I'm going to assemble it row by row. But I'm going to take the whole board over to the machine and do that all at once. Okay, I've got my 3 sections now. I will join them, and if you notice on the back side, I pressed, so these will go opposite directions. In addition to that, the reason I pressed the way that I did is there's no seams right here, so by pressing this towards it where it had a seam, it will actually lay more flat. Same with this, there's a lot of little seams here. By pressing it out, it will lay flatter. So that's how I chose which direction I was pressing them. Main thing is you want them to be offset when you do this. Let's go sew these together. done. Make it a little flatter. It's not very square, but it will be when I'm done. Let's see what this tells me, the finished size of this block. Ah, it says use a scant 1/4 inch. I did not read that. That would explain this. Well, I'm going to be consistent with all my blocks. They should be 12 inches finished. Okay, let's see, are we 12? This is the 0 mark. We actually are. So this will get trimmed down to 12 inches. Let's see. I can do that now since I know what it's going to be. So my mat, cutting mat here is 13 by 13. So here's my 0 mark. So I can see if I put this in the bottom corner, it comes up to past 12 on both sides. So I'm going to center this. Actually, I'm going to center on my board here and use the 1/2 mark, and it will be right. So here's my 1/2 mark here. Here it is up here. Let's make sure we're going straight on these. So the 5 and the 8 are the same. We're good. I didn't want my block to be crooked. Okay. Now my block is done, and it's square, and it's 12 by 12. Now I'm going to make the blue block. Now I have 2, and they match. Can't wait for next month. Let me know if you are subscribed to this box. If you're not, the link will be below. And let me know what you think about it. The next 5 months or so, we're going to be getting a couple blocks to work on our quilt. And it's a small lap quilt that will be finished in the fall. Thanks for being here today. Have a great day.